Dude, you got to hear about these fantasy football sleeper picks for 2025. Dude, so it's super important to get those early draft picks right, but hitting on those late round guys can totally make or break your season. That's why you got to know who's going to be available super late. So you know how in fantasy football, everyone's stressing about those so check this out. You want to know about those fantasy football sleepers, right? Like the draft picks? Well, get this. The real MVPs are the guys you snag late, the total sleepers. If you nail those picks, you're golden for the whole season. So it's super important to know who and who's actually worth grabbing instead of just letting them get ignored. First up, there's this guy, Allen. He bounced around for a bit, but now he's back where he started in Southern California. He's going to be there at the end. And who's worth taking a flyer on instead of letting them go totally undrafted? Okay, first up, there's this wide receiver guy, Allen. He bounced around for a bit, but he's back in Cali where he's been forever. He's not the main dude on the team anymore, and honestly, they don't even really need him to be. But he's this super, like a really reliable safety net for their quarterback, Justin Herbert, who he already knows super well. It's going to be cool to see him play again. Then there's this other guy, McMillan. Man, experienced dude, like a seasoned vet, and he's a totally reliable safety net for his quarterback, Justin Herbert. They've got history, Then you got to check out McMillan. This guy went off at the end of his tons of points in winning their division. And guess what? With another player, Godwin out, McMillan totally stepped up. He was catching like 5 balls for over 60 yards a game. And the best part? He scored a touchdown in every single one of those games, racking up 7 TDs in total. Crazy, right?
Now, the quarterback situation for this next guy, Pierce, isn't exactly perfect, and you might not get a ton of passes thrown his first NFL season. His team, the Buccaneers, they were on fire, winning like 4 out of their last 5 games and scoring a ton of points, even winning their division. And get this, while another player, Godwin, was out, other receiver Godwin was out, McMillan stepped up huge. He was catching like almost 5 balls for over 60 yards a game, and he scored a touchdown in every single one of those last 5 games. 7 TDs total. McMillan totally stepped up. He was pulling in almost 5 catches for over 63 yards a game, and here's the kicker, he scored a touchdown in every single one of those games, racking up 7 TDs total his way. But honestly, it might not even matter for Pierce, because he's so cheap in drafts. Like, no risk. He disappears from his team's offense sometimes, but last season, Pierce was leading the whole league in yards per catch. Now, the quarterback situation for this next guy, Pierce, it's kind of iffy, and he doesn't get a ton of passes thrown his way. But honestly, it might not even matter for him. The cost averaging over 22 yards, and even though he only caught like 37 passes all year, he still scored in 7 different games. Seriously, this guy Pierce had 3 games over 100 yards last season. Nothing, like 0 risk. He does disappear from the Colts offense sometimes, but last season, this dude was leading the whole NFL in yards per reception, averaging over 22 yards. And get this, he scored in 7 to draft him is basically nothing, so it's 0 risk. He kind of disappears sometimes in the Colts offense, but last year, this guy led the whole league in yards per catch, like over 22 yards, and he's still different games, even though he only caught like 37 passes all year. Pierce had 3 games last season where he totally broke 100 yards, and he had 2 other games with 81 and 74 yards too, plus a couple more where he was almost there. He's a total gamble, this dude, who used to be a second-round pick, but for those super deep leagues, he's totally worth the risk. Scored touchdowns in 7 different games, even though he only caught like 37 passes the whole season. Seriously, Pierce had 3 games over 100 yards last year, plus a couple more with like 80 and 70. He's a total lottery ticket, this guy, a former second-round pick. But in those super deep leagues, he's totally worth the gamble. No big